Hello, welcome. Yeah, I feel a call to action this morning. As I've been scrolling through Facebook, I'm becoming more and more aware of this going on that is creating disease. And that's when somebody might post something or speak of something, um, and that all the challenges come in. And some of those challenges, as an example, I was saw a beautiful picture that somebody had posted of some clouds, beautiful and fluffy in the sky, and then bless everybody's souls. People started to engage in it and saying, "Well, those are chemtrails," and then somebody else posted in, and it was like kind of the fact checker came in and started posting the scientific point of view. And then, unfortunately, with that need to be right, it degenerated in this kind of defensive. And in the defensiveness, people started attacking each other, and I felt it kind of got out of control and wasn't serving anybody. Apart from, I didn't feel so good around it, from seeing this beautiful picture and somebody projected their belief about it on there. And I realised I did a couple of posts around this, that, what we've all gone through, a lot of us have dropped into this survival mode. And in that survival mode, we can either go into the fight mode, the flight mode, or the freeze mode. And no matter what mode you're in, there is this kind of challenge. And so when anything challenges us, we either respond or we don't respond. And if we're responding from that fight mode, there is this innate need to be right. And so we'll attack it. And even within belief systems that it might seem that they're on the same side, but it's like I experience it like they fight amongst themselves. And I really feel moving forward that way may not serve us. So I'm kind of inviting people to look at that, because it's not defining people and saying, well, you're a conspiracy theorist and you're a fact checker and all of that. That's not the person, that is the behavior. And I know that when I am in, and people that I know are in this kind of survival mode, our behaviors change. And they change because our beliefs about what we feel or sense is going on has also changed as well. I remember a client coming and seeing me, and they broke down and said, "Johnny, with all this going on, I just want to hear the freaking truth, man." And that really touched me, and I got it. It brought the inquiry as to what is truth. And I believe that even here, I feel all the comments coming of people trying to conceptualize and define what that truth is. But to me, the truth is what you believe in. And truths are personal to each other. But there's also an invitation here is to actually not to contain ourselves within a conceptual idea around our beliefs. And that's where I believe, some religions are formed. They're born from a truth that is expressed by somebody who has this aha moment of expanded awareness, and they go to show it or to speak of it, and people said, well, hold on, it's this or it's that, as they filter it through their own beliefs. And so after a period of time, it's like Chinese whispers. that the original intention and the original truth, at the core it's still there, but it's been so translated so many times. And I feel in some ways that for some people, because they're looking for truth, that science has kind of become their own religion. Well, unless you can prove it to me, unless you can show me, and within this scientific model or framework, then it doesn't exist. And I realize, and I know for myself, because I love science, I love quantum physics and exploring that with my beautiful mind, that when a true scientist, or not even a scientist, but when somebody is open and expands their mind, then they have this download or this inspiration. Where it comes from, hey, I'm choosing not to go there with that. But when we have these aha moments, quite often the mind will go, that's what it is, and try to put a concept around it, rather than just sit with it. So that's what I'm speaking of. As I saw this beautiful photo and had a moment, and then all the mental constructs started coming in, and people started to, well, I believe, impose that on each other. And when this need to be right, create a wrongness about the other person. And then it started getting personal and swearing and you effing idiot and all of this kind of thing. So the behaviors took over. So as we move forward, I'd like to invite us all to, I respect everybody's beliefs because they're personal. But what I'm learning is if I might allow my beliefs to expand and get out the need to be right, that my beliefs are the truth and the only beliefs and everybody else is wrong, then wow, my beliefs, my core beliefs, they don't change. But the way I express them, that does, because that expands. So that's the invitation for us moving forward. I believe, and yet that's a belief, that if we keep dropping down into personality-based need to be right and enforce it, then I'm just seeing it. That's not working. It's not working for me. And so I find myself that I have gone into retreat and withdrawn, and that's freezing from engaging in discussions that what I say might trigger somebody. And even expressing this, that might trigger somebody. Well, hey, I'm putting it out there as an invitation, not to challenge you, but as an invitation from my heart. Because if I try to do it with my mind, then of course it'll end up into an intellectual discussion. So what really works for me, if I'm trying to understand something, like what's going on in the world, if I try to do it with my mind, it can just do my head in. But when I drop down into mindfulness, or whatever you want to call it, just into a state of a presence, and I open up my mind, it reminds me of, to fly, our mind must be open like wings. And it's like when humans wanted to fly. It was the idea or the aha moment of seeing birds in flight that, yes, I would like to be free and fly. And yes, it was science that found a physical way for us to do that. So I'm not negating religion. I'm not negating science, but to me, in the joining of it, in the joining of my heart and my beautiful mind, is such expansiveness. And I have looked out into the world and, in my prayers, asked to show me that. And I remember one moment on the beach up in Nelson, and I was having this beautiful aha moment as I looked at the sunset, and it was glorious. And a guy came along and said to me, "Isn't God beautiful?" And I went, "Yes, brother, God is beautiful." And he saw it as an invitation to come up, and I felt this joyousness and expansiveness. The unfortunate thing is he started to preach to me about his belief in his religion, and I sat there and I listened. But as I went to express my belief that included his religion, I got this resistance, and I respect that. But then the projection of, "Oh, what you're talking of is a false God." Wow. And I started to feel this withdrawal from this soul. And I said, "Dude," we both shared God in that moment, in that aha moment. Sorry, man, but now with all of this, you've taken me out of that moment. And I'd like to go back to that. So I invited him to return to the sunset. That need to be right was so strong in him that he kept projecting in. And unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, I chose to stand in my space and go, "Sorry, dude, I'm going to sit here with God in my moment, in the glory of it." And I asked him to move on. So wow, yeah, what a ride and what a journey. So I just know from my heart and from my mind, I haven't got all the answers to what it is, but I open to what it is. And in that openness, I have a sense and an awareness. So an invitation to, instead of fighting amongst each other, that just allow our perceptions. Because when I allow somebody's perception to reflect back to me, I have a choice. Can either accept it all or parts of it and then include it in my perception, and my perception and awareness expands, or I can close up and contract into it and stay rigid. And I really feel that that's what's happened. Now that we're in this, or a lot of people in this survival mode, and the truth, a lot of our faith and trust has been challenged. And so a lot of people are trying to find out, what is it? Where are we headed in all of that? I can't work it out with my mind. And not just my heart alone, but when I join the two of them together, wow, I open. I open to source without putting a concept around that. It's like plugging into the mainframe, if you want to put it in a scientific concept. Lao Tzu, when he had his great aha moment, they said to him, "Please share it with us." And he says, "No, I can't. It's unexplainable." And he tried to point towards it. And they finally encouraged him to frame it out so that they could understand it. And the first thing he said is, the Tao that can be named is not the Tao. So I can use words, I can use concepts. I'm not here to do that. It's just an invitation as a guide to explore that into the great mystery, to expand your beliefs and your awareness out. And in that expansion, there is expansion in yourself and in your heart. And I really feel that that's a way forward for us. Instead of the separation and the fight, is to drop that. Not that we have to agree with everybody and everything they say, but to sit and witness it, expand it, take from it what we choose to, drop the rest, and move forward on our own journey, our own beliefs, the way that we conceive or conceptualize, and even letting that go and just allow us to expand into one beautiful, continuous aha moment. Oh, wow, that's glorious. And at first I experienced a little aha. And the more that those aha moments, as I expanded in my life, they're becoming just one. So my friends, I invite you, whatever, to explore and expand. Thank you and bless you. Much love.